All right, good evening, my friends. The Taliban achieves what the United States couldn't do with opium. The group's ban on poppy farming has reportedly slashed Afghanistan's opioid production by 80% in 1 year. Here is, of course, the infamous picture of the American soldier obviously guarding the poppy fields, my friends. Just a brief history in case you didn't remember. In 2001, the Taliban banned opium farming, and something curious happened shortly after that, and it only got higher and higher and higher. So, this only goes to 2016, by the way. But let's take a look at the timeline. You remember this stuff, of course. September 11th, totally not a false flag, totally not a psyop. There's cocksucker George W., one of the worst presidents of the United States. Shock and awe. Wait, shock and awe was Iraq. November 7th, the bombing campaign, Taliban in retreat. December 2001, bin Laden totally escapes, right? He's pretty much died around this time of kidney failure. And then December 5th, 2001, an interim government, and let's just see what happened in 2002. Opium production had gone back all the way to almost where it was. So here we go. This is Russia today. So this is propaganda totally, but written from someone else's point of view. And you're going to see a few cases where there are some humorous little shots. The United States, United States supply of cluster munitions to Ukraine's a crime, war crime from Putin. I just wish the war would stop, and I want the United States to stop escalating. But anyway, back to the Taliban. They have reportedly accomplished 1 year. It's been 2 years since the embarrassing departure of Afghanistan by Beijing Biden. That's the true showing of the United States' weakness on display. America's war on drugs failed to pull off for 5 decades elimination of the vast majority of Afghanistan's opium output. So it almost kind of lends credence to the fact that 9/11 also was about increasing the opium production in Afghanistan. Since the Taliban banned poppy farming in 2022, also they did it in 2021, in 2001, Afghanistan has carried out the most successful counter-narcotics effort in human history. And this story is a couple weeks old. I have not heard anybody talking about it, though. The UK Telegraph newspaper reported on Saturday, okay, maybe the Telegraph was reporting on it, Afghan poppy production has dropped an estimated 80% in the past year, and poppy cultivation has plunged by more than 99% around 2,500 acres in the Helmand province, which produces the majority of the opium. So, which British troops occupied for much of the 20-year U.S.-led war in Afghanistan. That is very curious indeed. Again, people should ask questions about this, but alas, it's only me and a few others. The Telegraph noted no supply reductions were achieved during Washington's 50-year war on drugs, including 2 decades of U.S. presence in Afghanistan. The Central Asian country historically accounts for more than 80% of opium production and 95% of European opioid supplies. Now, these are used as medicine, but they are also used as, oh boy, they're used illegally, like in heroin, for example. The United Nations, among other observers, has raised concern that the resulting shortfall could lead to the use of more synthetic opioids, such as fentanyl, which are potentially more dangerous than heroin. With the U.S. in control of Afghanistan in 2004, the Washington-backed government in Kabul set a goal of eliminating poppy cultivation within 10 years. Cultivation and output actually rose during the United States occupation, even as American taxpayers reportedly spent at least $9 billion to eradicate the industry. More money well fucking spent. Okay, so 2004, okay, yeah, production... In 10 years, production has never been higher. Proof that the United States fucks up more things than they fix. Or, again, this could be by design. Here's the gut punch to the United States. The U.S. CIA has a long history of involvement in narcotics trade. A U.S. State Department report in 1991, that's George Bush Sr., found that covert CIA operations in Afghanistan had transformed the region from a self-contained opium zone into a major supplier of heroin for the world market. Nevertheless, U.S. media outlets pointed fingers at the Taliban for allowing opium production to rise after the Islamic group retook Afghanistan in August of 2021. One of the lowest international moments in my life, well, that I can cognitively remember. The Iranian hostage crisis was a little before my time. The United States state-funded Radio Free Europe claimed as recently as May of 2023 that the Afghan poppy cultivation had jumped because the Taliban was unwilling to enforce the ban on the crop. And ironically, the United States government's United States Institute of Peace faulted the Taliban last month for being too successful in slashing the opium output. I didn't know that was a link. The temptation to view the ban as an overtly positive light, as an impact of global counter-narcotics victory, must be avoided. Jesus Christ, are you serious? This is particularly true given the state of Afghanistan's economy and the country's humanitarian situation. Instead, the ban imposes huge economic and humanitarian costs on Afghanistan and is likely to further stimulate the outflow of refugees. They probably want those too. So, Jesus Christ, are you fucking kidding me? The Taliban's successful opium ban is bad for Afghans and the world. Go fuck yourself, United States Institute of Peace. That's all I have to say. So that's a quickie. Again, no one's talking about this. Someone please notice this. Man, this just goes to show you that the United States, again, there was always a conspiracy theory. Oh, the United States is protecting. Basically, they allowed opium poppies to be grown again after invading it after 9/11 under the pretext of 9/11, and they should have been burning these fields, but instead they're protecting them. So that's it. That's all we're going to do. Thanks for watching. Pick up some non-perishable food, and God bless.